On Osrc News at 7, experts identify age as major cause of Parkinson's disease. Japa syndrome. Osrc investigates migration to Burkina Faso. 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. President Tinubu launches emblem appeal. And in sport, ahead Paris Olympic Games, Nigeria and Ethiopia share spoils in Addis Ababa. Thanks for joining us on News at 7. My name is Sahid Arifis. Residents of Una have applauded Oluwarotimi Akeredolu for changing their narratives with the creation of new local council development areas. The people who could not hide their joy when the assessment team of the state government, led by the Commissioner for Local Chieftaincy Affairs, Amidu Takoro area, covered the events reporters presented from our studios.
The creation of new LCDs in the public pioneered by the state government administration of Bola Tinubu. Since other southwest states, Oyo, Ogun, and Ekiti, created local council development areas, and now state the creation of more local government areas will extend governance to the people. Commissioner for Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Amidu Takoro, while on a tour to Idonre Southwest Local Government Development Council area in Ofosu Idonre, said the creation of the LCDA is to ensure democracy gets to the doorsteps of residents.
To congratulate you, and we are here to come and inspect the facility available for the take of CDA.
Mr. was North, where he assured residents governance. The Oshema way of Ondo Kingdom, Oba Victor Kiladejo hailed the Ondo State government's creation of the new local council, noting that it would bring it closer to the of the
that we now more avenues for the development of Ondo. Not as important as ensuring that opportunity is created for development of the entire community.
At Bagbe, the headquarters of Ondo Southwest, optimism creation of the LCDs would accelerate development to the area. It was at Ekpe, sons and daughters in traditional rulers led by the government for as one of the
enough. There is nothing we want here that cannot suitable for the temporary site of a local government. We have prepared.
The commencement of the local government is really making. We believe that God, the government, more dividend of democracy to the people.
These are things that have been expected for the past 30 years. And within a short period, the government just did it for them, and they were happy. And this is not the first governor that we promised. They have been promising a political statement that have been made concerning the creation of the local government, but none has been done, except Akeredolu, the Mr. Tokandu governor. He has done it. He is happy.
The exercise is intended to be extended to other local council development areas.
Nigerians have been alerted to the fact that age is a major factor responsible for Parkinson's disease. This is a factor identified by the Association of Clinical and Academic Physiotherapists of Nigeria. President of the association, Dr. Udoka Okafor, spoke on the 7th Annual Scientific Conference held at the University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo. The report is presented from our studio. People across race and color in the world have various ailments confronting them without knowing their causes. But for Parkinson's disease, which is an ailment responsible for the shaking of the body, the cause has been attributed to age. Age as a factor was identified by the Association of Clinical and Academic Physiotherapists of India at the opening ceremony of the 7th Annual Scientific Conference at the University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, Ondo. According to the president of the association, Dr. Udoka Okafor, Parkinson's disease is different from stroke, a medical condition that can be controlled by physiotherapists and medication. Chancellor of the University, so Adeshegun Fatusi, said that he is facing limited physiotherapy, the situation which he described as a great challenge in neurological conditions.
I think that the council to work
in his keynote address, Professor Kumbo said Parkinson can be inherited, as research shows that people living in blacksmithing area or contaminated water could have Parkinson's disease. Professor however suggested to always report cases of body shaking and unconscious movement to the nearest physiotherapist. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News. President Bola Tinubu has officially launched the emblem appeal for the G24 Armed Forces Remembrance Day at the in the State House, Abuja. The president also announced the approval of 18 billion naira allocated towards group life assurance benefits and other entitlements for the families of fallen heroes of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Tinubu, in his remarks, reaffirmed his commitment to supporting and bolstering all Nigerian security agencies. The president, who emphasized the importance of enhancing their capabilities to safeguard the nation, called on all Nigerians as well as corporate organizations to emulate the gesture and support the country's veterans and the families of the fallen heroes whose past sacrifices have kept the country together. Still staying with the president, President Bola Tinubu has appointed 2 new chief executive officers under the First Minister of Marine and Blue Economy. And especially Ngalali, the appointment of Muniruddin Bola Oyebamiji as Managing Director and CEO, National Inland Waterways Authority, and Mr. Akuta Pius Ikima as Executive Secretary, CEO, Nigeria Shippers Council, is in line with the recommendations of the Minister, Adeboyega Oyetola. The media advisors said the President tasked the new appointees to faithfully implement the policies and programs of the Ministry for efficient attainment of economic prosperity as part of the renewed hope agenda of the Blue Economy Strategy. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 9 new resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for a term of 5 years each, subject to the confirmation of the Nigerian Senate. According to a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalali, the new appointees are to abide by the highest standards of professional and ethical conduct in the discharge of their duties, in accordance with its determination to facilitate the establishment of a new and sustainable standard of transparent, fair and conflict-free electoral conduct in Nigeria. The appointees are Mr. Isa Shaka Eimekina, Edo State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Bamidele Agbede, Ekiti State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Jani Adamu Bello, Gombe State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Tai Ilyasu, Kwara State Resident Electoral Commissioner, also Dr. Bumi Omosenyidemi as Lagos State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Alhaji Yahya Bello, Nasarawa State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Professor Mahmoud Yalwa, Niger State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Anubum Onoa, River State Resident Electoral Commissioner, and Mr. Abubakar Fawa Dambo as Zamfara State Resident Electoral Commissioner. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has said the off-cycle election, Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa states are critical to the commission. Professor Yakubu, at a meeting with the civil society organization ahead of the elections, announced that about 145 organizations deploying 7,896 observers have been accredited by the commission for the 3 elections. The INEC boss described the election as a multi-stakeholder activity, one of such that need engagement with the security agencies. According to him, the commission conducted a mock accreditation involving actual voters in designated polling units in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states 2 weeks ago, thereby testing the efficacy of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for both biometric authentication of voters and the upload of results to the INEC Result Viewing Portal, IREV. He added that the Commission will soon make public its reports on the conduct of the 2023 general election. We're due to take a break on Osrc News at 7. We'll be back shortly with more stories. Please stay.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Take it from me, the mind-blowing way to do things is the Glow LTE advanced way. When you stream, it's like you're in the drama itself. When you make calls, you reach where others can't. Coffee! Doing business is like running Wall Street from your street. And when you play,
I'm a busy guy. We'll see about that.
It's like traveling the world without moving an inch.
Is that Toby in your room?
You can download in the blink of an eye in 4K.
Go, go.
And when you go for your dreams, it's like running with the strength of 3 nations behind you.
Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
Thanks for rejoining us on Osrc News at 7. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV. On YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. More stories. Ondo State House of Assembly has charged the state management agency to effectively enhance the interrelationship with other sister agencies to reduce the impact of disasters. The House Committee on SDGs, Governmental Affairs, Bilateral Relations, led by Chairman Tiami Uatere during a visit to the agency, advised management on periodic reports to the relevant ministry and agencies to alert them in order to ensure preparedness. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshiola Adesoyajayi has more.
The visit of members of Ondo State House of Assembly AGs, Mental Affairs and more of State MC Agency SEMA was one of numerous ways to chart the way forward towards managing disasters in the state. Chairman of the committee, Mr. Tiamiyu Atere, who admitted that some disasters are man-induced, promised that the House will review the law of the agency to ameliorate victims' challenges and be more effective in the discharge of its duties.
We thank you for what you have been doing. With the list of the community, all this SEMA has shown their emergency as settled. So with this, we have no reason not to support this agency.
Other lawmakers commended the agency for demonstrating commitment, advising the management to intensify efforts, especially in terms of advocacy to reduce disaster to the barest minimum in the state.
Your workers on field, your officers on field, they are doing well. And, I also wanted my chairman of this committee to note that they respond promptly when you call, and they are so amiable and accessible.
The administration of Osrc has been wonderful in the area of intervention when it comes to emergency progress.
Earlier, the Executive Secretary of the agency, Mr. Ojoidowu, attributed frequent flooding being experienced in some parts of the state to indiscriminate waste disposal and called for the collaboration of the lawmakers in the advocacy in their constituencies to save lives and property.
We have been advocating and sensitizing people to live, to have a culture that can avert some of these disasters, particularly erosion. The way we dump refuse, at different places that will clog our, waterways and drainages is not encouraging. And if we, as as the public can, really do what is right, we will reduce some of these disasters. So this is what we've been doing on radio, sensitizing our people. Then our local people too, the way they respond sometimes is not encouraging.
The State Emergency Management Agency is one of the departments under the Office of the Deputy Governor, whose core mandate is to manage disasters through resources, effective disaster prevention, among others. Adesoyajayi, Osrc News.
It's the Osrc News at 7. We'll go on another quick break. We'll be back with more stories. Please stay. Now to more stories on the news. An Oyo State High Court sitting in Ogbomoso has nullified the appointment of Oba Gandhi Afolabi Olaoye as Shoun of Ogbomoso. The Oyo State government had in August announced Pastor Gandhi Olaoye as the new Shoun. Before this time, another aspirant for the position, Kabir Olaoye, approached the court to challenge the eligibility of Gandhi. Prince Kabir Olaoye, who challenged Gandhi's selection, explained that there was a flaw in the selection process. While delivering his judgment, Justice Adedokun, who was hearing the case, announced that the appointment of King Olaoye was illegal. He also ordered the kingmakers to start a new selection process to elect a new Shon. Now to the foreign scene. French President Emmanuel Macron has suggested that international coalition brought together to fight ISIL should be broadened to include the fight against the Palestinian group Hamas. In a press conference with President Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem on Tuesday, Macron offered solidarity in the aftermath of a deadly attack by Hamas on October 7 and said that France and Israel are a common enemy in defeating terror. Macron's visit comes more than 2 weeks after Hamas members stormed into Israel, killing 1,100 people, mostly civilians, including about 30 French citizens. Israel has since relentlessly bombed Gaza, so far killing more than 5,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children, while it prepares for a grand invasion of the blocked area. The Israeli leader reiterated Hamas would be destroyed in continuing war, and that after the fighting, no one would live under Hamas tyranny. Netanyahu also warned that the war might take time. Wahab Bankole has detail.
It wasn't just a show of support for Israel's prime minister. It was in effect a call to arms. French President Emmanuel Macron suggested taking joint international coalition against Hamas.
C'est pourquoi la France est prête.
This is why France is ready for the international coalition against ISIL, within the framework of which we are engaged for our operation in Iraq and Syria.
In Rallah, he reiterated his call to treat Hamas like ISIL, but his statement was more sympathy than action, with no plans for a ceasefire or humanitarian corridor to immediate demands of the Palestinians.
I want to express my condolences to all the victims of the struggle of the unleashed by us, to the families of the wounded and those who lost their loved ones in Gaza. Our hearts are with them.
During the meeting, protesters took to the streets, angry that Abbas will even meet with the French leader. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Still on the Israel-Hamas war, Al-Shifa Hospital, the biggest in Gaza Strip, is running out of fuel and space as Israel its bombardment targets ahead of an expected ground invasion. They say they won't be able to carry out life-saving surgery without fuel.
Over the last 24 hours, there have been 600 people killed and almost three times the number of wounded. All of them have come to Shifa Hospital. The crisis at Shifa Hospital just keeps getting deeper and deeper. The fuel is running low. We are getting more and more electricity cutouts. Yesterday, one of the biggest hospitals in the north of Gaza has completely run out of fuel, which itself adds to the pressures on Shifa Hospital. My estimate is that the hospital will cease to be able to function by within a week.
I pulled all the kids, them barefoot, shouting because of them. Thank God we made it to the hospital.
The situation we're in now, everything has changed. I wake up in the morning, sleeping on the sand. Everywhere is sand. Seriously, I'm in a situation in which I hope to go back home. I want to sleep in my bed.
Now to sport. Ahead 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, the Super Falcons of Nigeria and their Ethiopian counterparts put up a hard-fought battle in Addis Ababa today as the match ended in a one-all draw, setting up an interesting leg in Abuja on Tuesday next week. Captain Shidat Ajibade's caught change from the edge of the box 6 minutes after the restart parity at the Kila Stadium after the Ethiopian was at surprise in the least minute as Bireke Amare in the back of the net from a corner kick. With Azizat Oshuala in the top striking position, Uche Nakan and Gift Monday operated from the wings with Alozi switched to a local pay charge at right back. Oluwatosin and Akudo Obuna took control at the center of the defense, and with Christy Uchebe and Alimatu Aide unavailable, Peace to pay and Aide to string things together in the middle of
ዘንምቶ አግኝተዋል። የማዕዘን ምቱ ተሻማ። የመጀመሪያ በክላስ ስቴዲየም ላይ የመጀመሪያ ጎላቸውን በቤተልሔም በቀለ አማካኝነት አስቆጠሩ።
በጣም ያስደንቅ ታዲ እንደ ቻዱ ጨዋታ እንደ ቻዱ ጨዋታ ዝናቦች እየዘነቡ ነበርና እየተመለከትን ነበርና
በርካታ አምባሳደሮችን በአበበ ቢቂላ ስቴዲየም ላይ እየተመለከትን እንገኛለን። ግፍት መንዳይና ናርዶስ ጌትነት ግፍት መንዳይ ታሪካዊ ስቴዲየም የኢትዮጵያ ሴቶች ብሔራዊ ቡድን በታሪካቸው ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ ሪቻርድ ኢጅሞዲ ያስቆጠረች ናይጄሪያ በሪቻርድ ኢጅሞዲ የአትሌቲኮ ዲ ማድሪድ ተጫዋች በአስደናቂ ሁኔታ ከሳጥን ውጭ አስቆጠረች። አምበሏ ቱፓሞሊ ኳሱን ኮንትሮል ካደረገች በኋላ በቀጥታ በመምታት በታሪኳ በርገና መረብ ላይ አስቆጠረች። ፓንች ማድረግ እድል ነበረ።
Both teams will clash in at the MQ Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on Tuesday, with the winner on aggregate proceeding to the third round, where the winner of the Cameroon-Uganda fixture awaits. And to end Osrc News at 7, we'll take a look again at some of the major stories. Experts identified age as a major cause. This came to the fore conference clinical list of Nigeria. I told you that President Bola Tinubu has launched the 2024 Emirates Day. And from the world, as a race to the 2024 Paris Olympic hot stop, the Super Falcons of Nigeria and their Ethiopian counterparts settled for a 1-0 draw in Addis Ababa. And that's the news tonight. Thanks for watching.